Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Talking Packers with Steve. I'm continuing. Sorry about that. I'm continuing to do my videos without the headset. I've seen some episodes and some videos that have been really super loud and too loud, and I apologize for that. Because I'm used to, if I have either this way or with the headset, I'm used to I have to yell, talk like this to even people to even hear me at all. And then when I talk like this, normal, relaxed, or at least 100% relaxed voice, people can't hear it at all and have to put their ears to this to their right up to their laptops or their phones to hear what I'm saying. And I don't want that to happen. I want it to be easy for people to listen to what I have to say and hear every single word I say because I say what I mean. And also, beyond saying what I mean, every word I say means something. Just like when I talked about the TV show MTV Scream, every verbal or nonverbal from that show to me is a clue or a red herring, whatever. However, the writers write, their episodes, but everything um, means something to me. So every frame, every still, every look from a character, obviously what they say and what's done, um, and flashbacks, and everything really. Um, that's why there's other YouTubers that when there's previews for the next episode, go over it with a fine tooth comb. So, but here today, talk about the NFL. I did a video earlier. I did a video yesterday, or no, I think it was earlier today. I believe it's been a busy couple of days here for me with the presidential election and the aftermath, and here now, day and then days after. Um, well, now days after. I think I did my presidential thoughts video yesterday. Continuing doing my Steve's take with for Eastman First Take, and now today finally getting to my podcast this week for the NFL, Talking Packers with Steve. My wrestling one, as usual, will be Esta Noche tonight, para Esta Noche, going live at 8 p.m. Central Time here on this channel. Steve's Wrestling Ramble, my co-host Mark Ramble. But if you are a wrestling fan, if you're an NFL fan, if you're happy Donald Trump won the presidency, anything, whatever reason, whatever positive you can take from today, even if you have a sucky day, you're welcome to like this video, share, and subscribe. And I'm here to as other YouTubers are, to let you get away from all that stuff, all the real serious issues and situations of your life, to talk sports or politics or pro wrestling, as I will tonight. So that's my job, and that's really what I would say the job of a YouTuber is. Whether they're talking comedy, whether they're talking facts, whether they're serious, whether they try to be there for the people, so to speak, like I am. As I talk all the time, I always talk. I understand, I understand one side of the issue or one side of the argument. Here's my thoughts. If you disagree, let's talk about it and respectfully converse in that way. That's just how I am. Now, to others, that may seem like being too nice or not entertaining as a YouTuber, because I am nice or politically correct in that way in anything I talk about, even like sports. So if someone disagrees on my thought process of why the Packers are stinking up the joint in the last couple of games, their reasons being different and their thought process being different, I might disagree with them strongly or a little bit, but I still respect their opinion. I still listen to them. It's not like in the ear, out the ear. I listen, take it, and give my thoughts back. So that's just how I am in general. So even though that might not be entertaining because I'm not confrontational, that's just how I am, and I hope I find a niche here on YouTube. I'm sure I will. Because anybody finding their niche in whatever they're talking about, fashion, sports, wrestling, politics, or otherwise, or just comedy channels being funny in themselves. Like I know a few of them, like PewDiePie and others, even though he did start off gaming, but they have their own niche and their fan base, and more power to them. And I respect them for that. But let's stay here on topic, of course, talking NFL. Obviously, tonight I'll be talking wrestling, so I'll stay on topic there tonight. That's when we get to that point. But NFL, the first NFL week after the presidential election. However you feel about how it went, if you're an NFL fan, which most of the country is, you got good games coming up this week here in Week 10 of the National Football League. I mean, I love it. We're past the halfway point, heading into I guess technically the home stretch of the start of the second half here. officially and unofficially, of the NFL season of 2016. And, it's a great time of sports with the baseball season finally being over. Again, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs on winning the World Series. Today, the Cleveland Cavaliers actually, as of right now, I have it on mute right now on MSNBC. Again, I'm still watching all the political channels after the election, and as I said that in my video congratulating Donald J. Trump becoming president of the United States, just watching that and watching the Cavs and President Obama there. So, congratulations to the Cavaliers, of course, winning the NBA championship earlier this year. So 2016 has been a crazy year, and let's continue this crazy year. And here in the NFL, the year might not be crazy so far. The season might not be as crazy as we think. I mean, the Vikings, though, were undefeated at one point, a team that looked like to be a juggernaut. Their defense carrying the team, carrying the load. Their offense being good enough to make them a good candidate to be the champions of the National Football League. But the last few weeks and seeing things stumble and just being a mess there in Minnesota right now, they could go the complete opposite. They could start 5-0 and finish 5-11. I doubt that, but it seems like just the way things have been going, infighting, Turner leaving and pretty much quitting his post, and his responsibilities as also offensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings, and all other things going on. They're a mess. The Packers are a mess. The Bears are their own problem. And the Lions seem like they, at the very least, have their heads on straight. They might not be, in my opinion, playoff caliber right now. But out of the 4 teams in my division, and me obviously saying this as a Packer fan, as a Packer, Green Bay Packer shareholder, keeping it real in that way, that's my thoughts on the 4 teams in the best division in the NFL, being the NFC North, formerly the NFC Central. Back when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were there, and we had the awesome feud between Warren Sapp and Brett Favre. That was, I don't know if it was like a real feud, but it certainly seemed like one. And for those that remember the NFC Central, and the NFC and the old NFC, the old AFC at all, because in the old AFC, the Seahawks actually was part of the AFC West, if I believe, or one of the divisions in the AFC before things change and actually make it geographically correct for these conferences. But the Eagles, the Vikings, of 2 teams that were undefeated, the creme of the creme. As I said that week going into that game, as much as I wish that they were both still undefeated at that time, the Vikings coming off a bye week, where's 5-0, and everything. I said that week in that episode of Talking Packers with Steve that this could be, or that game could be, a precursor to what the game could be for the NFC Championship game. Only I assumed, and still do as of right now, even though I just lamented my thoughts on the Vikings, but that could be the matchup for the NFC Championship game, the Vikings versus the Eagles. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was the case. But my Packers need to get stuff together. All our defensive woes, it is a situation and it's real, but you can't keep using that as an excuse. It's been a couple of weeks now. Now we're 2-game losing streak, and everything. And I think Aaron having his issues, I think he needs more of the blame than he's actually been getting. He's getting too much of a pass. So Aaron needs to get his act together, because if he doesn't get his act together quick, then I'm going to say something here on the show. And me as a level-headed person, as a non-confrontational, I listen to both sides of an argument kind of person, and usually don't do rants, few and far between. And usually those rants are in WWE world, where I'm talking about a storyline or a situation there. Those were my rants would be my wrestling show, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, and that podcast. But usually not too much here in the NFL show. I don't have rants or stuff like that because it's the NFL, and I guess just my mind stake, or my processes of my mind, which is always moving, always have something thinking about. I'm sure even while I'm sleeping and dreaming, it's always moving. That I don't get overly upset about something, but if we lose again, if Aaron overthrows wide receivers, does this, does that, and has issues again, and he doesn't own up to it fully, then I'm gonna have to give my opinions, my stronger than right now, actually, if you can believe that, opinions. If I do a rant about it next week, if we do lose and Aaron has an issue, I probably won't swear. But if one comes out, you know that things got me upset that much that a swear word actually came out of me. So, because like I said, I'm a nice guy, I'm a level-headed person, but there is a breaking point to things, and when the Packers are being jabronis in general as a team, and Aaron Rodgers as well, hopefully, people share this video to Aaron Rodgers, share this to the Packers, even though I doubt they'll actually watch. But if they did, I would just say, get your heads out of your butts. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop blaming others. Get your act together and crush the Tennessee Titans on the road, a team you should be able to beat pretty handily, in my opinion. I'm not saying the Titans are chumps, but just, again, my opinion. And right the ship for a week and hopefully continue that pattern of positivity, then everything's going to be fine. And if everything is fine, Aaron does great, then hey, on Twitter at talking_Packers or at Army_strong_06, and they or any of the listening audience can let me know your thoughts and my thoughts, and me giving the rah-rah speech to the Packers heading into Week 10 against the Titans, because like I said, if Aaron messes up and he doesn't take true responsibility and the Packers lose to Tennessee, or Packers win by like 1 point or 2 points to Tennessee and Aaron's not doing so hot, then I'll have something to say, and I'll be a little hot and bothered by the situation. But there's blame all around: defense, offense, head coach. I mean, you can't forget about him. I mean, he's the head coach, the president of the team day to day, so to speak, that way. So, just saying that. But my thoughts are probably me thinking forward is that we'll probably get the win, get a good win, and I won't even have to bother ranting and raving or being that guy next week in the episode in the show, because I hopefully, and in my heart I believe that the Packers will get their act together, and they'll stop having these excuses and using these excuses after losses, and look themselves in the mirror, like McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers, and others, and be like, all right, no more excuses. Let's put forward and shoot this win. Go Pack, go. So, Packers in our troubles, and with the injuries and the plethora of that being an issue. Okay, fine, but it's been a couple weeks now since that happened, and especially with our running backs, and whenever either of them will be able to come back, okay, but we gotta work with what you have instead of using that excuse of why you're losing or why things aren't great. Time to make the Packers great again, because if the Packers aren't that, then really we're not going to be making the playoffs at all. And if we do make the playoffs, no chance in heck for us to be going to the Super Bowl if we don't get our acts straight. We don't look in the mirror. We don't, all this other stuff. I'm just saying. But like I said, if there is a mess, and if we do lose by big, or Aaron piss poor and he blames others, or like he said after this week, after our loss, low energy and whatever, giving it to somebody else, because gosh forbid that it's Aaron Rodgers that actually did something wrong. Next week, like I said, I'll actually have a rant about it, with a little bit stronger language. I'm not going to swear, like I said. And no, this right now here is not a rant. It's my mind, just free thinking there. But like I said, next week it'll be a totally different story. So, Packers better get it together, otherwise I'm not going to be so nice. But anyways, let's get through the Week 10 schedule of the National Football League here and get my predictions game by game. Like I said, everybody's welcome to subscribe for this show or others, whatever ones you're interested in. First, we got tonight, Thursday Night Football, the Browns against the Ravens. Jay, talking WWJ against JB of Team Boy TV Live. So two good friends of mine facing off here. I got the Ravens over the Browns 17-10. And actually closer game than most believe. And you best believe I wouldn't be totally surprised if the Browns pick up the win in Baltimore. But my prediction is for Baltimore to get the win. Chiefs against the Panthers. Big Q, Team Boy TV Live. His Panthers against the Chiefs. I got the Panthers over the Chiefs, 27-17. I was 27-17 Rams against the Jets. I got the Rams over the Jets, 24-17. I have the Falcons against the Eagles. I got the Eagles over the Falcons. Arch Fiends, Field Deal again. Others. The Philadelphia Eagles over the Atlanta Falcons, 35-21. Jaguars against the Texans. Jaguars over Texans. Trying to start that winning streak. Then part of my bold prediction teams to make the playoffs. I have the Jaguars over the Texans, 24-13. In that game. Chargers against the Dolphins. I get the Chargers over the Dolphins in a close game, 17-13. Steelers against the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Cowboys over the Steelers, 35-17. Saints and Broncos. I got the Broncos over the Saints, 21-13. Vikings against the Redskins. Vikings over the Redskins, 35-13. Bears against Buccaneers. I get the Buccaneers over the Bears, 21-13. 49ers, Cardinals over the 49ers, 45-13. My game of the week, I have the Patriots and the Seahawks in the game of the week. Seahawks at New England. For Sunday Night Football on NBC. I have the New England Patriots over the Seattle Seahawks, 35-10. Monday Night Football on ESPN. Bengals against the New York Football Giants. I have the Giants getting the win over Cincinnati, 17-13. So those are my predictions for week 10, my news and everything that I wanted to bring up. Like I said, I have the Seahawks versus the Patriots here for my game of the week because of two big franchises going up against each other. And now the talk heading into this week and heading into the game should be a good one. The last time these two teams were on NBC, it was a Super Bowl and Patriots getting the win, becoming the champions of the world. Well, this week is a little different here in the midweek of week 10, or midweek of the season, starting off the second half of the season. And I do see the Patriots, like I said in my prediction, I have the Patriots getting the win over Seattle in a hard-fought, close game. It'll certainly be a close game for sure. I just wanted to check something here. I don't know if people can hear me as I'm typing, but I want to look something up before I go for the evening. Like I always say, welcome to subscribe, share the video. Maybe share it to Aaron Rodgers. Maybe him and the Packers need to hear my little rah-rah speech there earlier in this episode. I don't know. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it won't. Maybe they won't even. Maybe no one will ever hear it. But at least I said it. So it's all that matters. Well, at least it all matters to me right now. Having to do with the Packers in that respect. Always going to support them. Always going to love them. But sometimes, the people that you love, sometimes there's issues and quarrels. Let me see here. No. Yeah, I'm trying to. All right, I'm just going to check. All right. Excuse me. All right, then I'm done for the evening. Done for the day. Done for this episode. Thanks for those that watch live or will be watching archive. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. And tonight I'll be back with Steve's Wrestling Ramble, talking everything WWE heading into Survivor Series. Next week will be the prediction episode. Hoping to have a full house for that. I got a couple at least already that have 100% confirmed that'll be on the show. So looking forward to that. One of them actually being a returning guest that will be returning to the show. One will be a new guest, obviously, to the show. But looking forward to having both. There's some other ones that I've been in talks with that are close to saying yes. Then there's others in another grouping of people that said, sure, they would love to, but they have to see to make sure it works for their schedules. And we'll just see next week how many people we actually have. We'd love to have a full house. We'd love to have 10 people total, 9 guests. Well, it actually would be 8 guests. My co-host, Mark Rambo, and then me, the host. But 10 total people here in the Google Hangouts in the episode talking Survivor Series next week. So if you are a wrestling fan, welcome to subscribe to the channel. Welcome to follow me on Twitter at WWE_podcast. And if you ever would like to join the show, we would like to join this episode and this show to be a co-host or otherwise at Talking_Packers, and let me know because I'd like to have other people and other people's thoughts and feelings about the National Football League, and we can even dive in deeper. The fact that I don't have a co-host, I'm all by myself. That's why I usually don't dive in deeper into matchups or games or everything, because if I could, or if I had a co-host to bounce ideas off of, I'd be going through every single game this week, from the Thursday Night Football on NFL Network to Monday Night Football on ESPN. On those games from start of the week to the end of the week of each individual week of the NFL season, we go into great detail of every single game, and then even more so with my game of the week and why I picked it and all this other stuff and that matchup and all that other stuff. So I would go really in depth. These episodes might actually be an hour or 2 hours if I had a co-host and did go in depth as I really actually want to. But since I'm not, then that's why it's shorter and not as in depth as it really should be. And I really wanted it to be, because I want it to be in depth. I want people to know every little thing that they could know about a matchup or about a game, about players' thoughts of the engine game, of all the games into the week. So you are digested with enough information to make your own predictions. If you're part of prediction pools or stuff like that with friends, coworkers, or otherwise. I'm on like NFL website or ESPN or whatever, like I am. I'm actually part of one on Yahoo Sports, the Pick 'em or Shut Up League with Glass of Team White TV Live, who is the leader, the president of that thing. Which is pretty good. I'm actually in the lead there. I have a 6-point lead, 4 to 6-point lead there. In predictions. Hope I can keep that going. If not, hey, it is what it is, just for fun. Bragging rights, but I have the lead there, and then I also do the predictions with NFL, and then on otherwise a local one as well. So if you do that, like I said, I want to make sure people have enough information about all the games, and then give my predictions. I usually do anyways, with my predictions of scores and everything, and let people know, how I feel and how others feel. But like I said, I'd be more in depth if I did have a co-host, or if I had other people here on the show, or other people watching in general, to make this show great again and make this show good, period, and go from there. But again, thanks to everybody that watched live and will be watching archive. Have a great evening. Welcome to like the video, subscribe, and share it to others. And as always, take care.